Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. In great news for us, Meghan will be releasing a bonus episode of her podcast this week. Meghan took to Instagram to share a rather glittering twist. A bonus episode will be released on Tuesday. A brief teaser clip featured Meghan herself offering a clue as to what prompted this unexpected addition. Next week, we've got one more very special interview for you, a bonus episode, because when a matriarch calls, and when this matriarch calls, oh, you answer. While the identity of this guest has not yet been formally disclosed, speculation among fans has pointed with some confidence to Tina Knowles, mother of Beyoncé, as the likely subject of the final conversation. Meghan's production partner posted, "We had just wrapped Confessions of a Female Founder and packed up the mics until a call came in that we couldn't ignore. On the line was one of the most influential and inspiring matriarchs in culture today. Naturally, we hit record. We'll listen so you don't have to, and we'll share the details in a bonus episode on Tuesday afternoon. It's unclear if the episode addresses Vegetable Gate, which we told you about in yesterday's podcast. The Express ran a poll asking if Meghan's podcast should be renewed. We voted yes, as we wish she'd release one daily, but we seem to be in the minority. When we last checked, and we're not kidding, 98% had voted no, 1% said yes, and 1% weren't sure." In the Telegraph, Michael Deacon writes under the headline, "Prince Harry has just done something so dim, I'm almost starting to like him. After so many negative headlines, you'd think the Duke of Sussex would be able to see a media attack coming a mile off, but you'd be wrong." Deacon explains, "Prince Harry flies from LA to Shanghai to promote greener travel." Magnificent, but at the same time a tiny bit troubling, because you've got to wonder, before dear Harry set off on the journey in question, did he not see such a headline coming? Did he not pause just for a moment and think, hang on, I'm about to give a speech about saving the planet, but in order to reach the venue at which I'll be speaking, I'll be getting into an aeroplane and flying approximately 6,500 miles. Is there perhaps a small risk that headline writers will try to make me look like some kind of comical hypocrite? At the very least, though, you'd say to yourself, hang on, I don't need to fly 6,500 miles to give this speech, because apparently there's been a remarkable new technological breakthrough known as the video call. So to demonstrate my selfless commitment to saving the planet, I'll use it to give my speech from home. Harry, however, didn't do this, which suggests to me that he simply has no idea how daft he looks. It has emerged that Harry was left so disappointed following his introduction of Meghan Markle to his late mother's sisters, Lady Sarah McCorquodale and Lady Jane Fellows. According to royal biographer Tom Bower in his book Revenge, Meghan, Harry and the War Between the Windsors, the Duke of Sussex had harboured hopes that his aunts, Princess Diana's older sisters, would recognise a kindred spirit in Meghan, seeing echoes of Diana's warmth, resilience and outsider status. Instead, the reception was notably cool. Bower writes, Harry assumed that Diana's family and friends would see a similarity between Diana and his fiancée. Both, he said, shared the same problems. He was so disappointed. The author goes on to claim that no one agreed that his vulnerable mother had anything in common with his girlfriend, and that Diana's sisters felt Meghan would not fit in with the royal family. The hard-working Prince William will be back at it this week following a week off to recover from watching his wife push a button to christen a ship. The Telegraph made sure everyone knows how hard the prince works by telling us how the 25th Duke of Cornwall is said to visit part of the duchy estate every 4 to 6 weeks, quietly moving through its farms, offices and communities to speak with tenants, shake hands and ask directly how he can help. These visits are largely private and go unrecorded in the court circular, a testament to the discretion of local residents who are, as the paper puts it, used to royal comings and goings. The duchy itself is no small affair, spanning 128,000 acres across 20 counties, largely in southwest England. It is a complex portfolio of farmland, commercial properties and housing. In a nod to both tradition and innovation, William appears determined to reshape it for the 21st century, placing social impact at the heart of its mission. One clear example is his support for We Are Farming Minds, a duchy-backed charity aimed at tackling mental health challenges and rural isolation among farmers. In March, he visited Folly Farm in Somerset, where he met with young farmers and even shared the spotlight with Clarkson's Farm star Caleb Cooper. Prince William's involvement goes well beyond exhausting ribbon cutting. He chairs the quarterly Prince's Council meetings, attends multiple internal committees, and, perhaps most modern of all, keeps in touch with Duchy staff via WhatsApp. Presumably, there's so much texting that he needs every third week off. We're told Wills even films video messages for Duchy-linked events, including a river conservation forum and a charity boxing night. His attendance at the Groundswell Festival last year was reportedly inspired by a Duchy tenant's recommendation. Yes, it's a portrait of a future king blending duty, discretion and digital age pragmatism, with boots firmly planted in both the soil and the 21st century, and an eye on the next week off. More Palace in just a moment. Two works of art were unveiled aboard HMS Queen Elizabeth depicting two landmark events: His Majesty King Charles III presenting a new colour to the Royal Navy, and the solemn use of the state gun carriage during the funeral procession of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The portraits, rich in ceremonial gravitas, have been formally added to the Royal Navy Trophy Fund collection, an enduring tribute to the deep and ongoing bond between the royal family and the senior service. Commander Dave Cunningham said, "We are delighted to have these two new paintings as part of the collection of the Trophy Fund. The trustees wanted to have something meaningful to mark these two momentous occasions, and we hope these two pictures, although very different in their style, will inspire current Royal Navy personnel to understand our ethos and heritage and to recognize the part they will play in our future." A rare mourning ring commissioned by George IV to honour his sister Princess Amelia is set to under the hammer after being discovered in a Leicester charity shop for the modest sum of £15. Dating from 1810, the mourning ring was unknowingly brought to auctioneer Charles Hanson by a client unaware of the piece's regal provenance. Once examined, its significance was immediately clear. Hanson said, "I was stunned and dazzled. This find proves treasures still lie hidden on our high streets." From a simple box emerged a piece of deeply personal royal history, commissioned by the royal family itself to honour a lost loved one. It's not just the monetary value, it's the emotion, history and humanity behind this ring that truly moves you. The piece, now expected to fetch between £3,000 and £5,000 at auction, was one of only 52 such rings produced and distributed to family and close confidants following her funeral at Windsor. Princess Amelia, the youngest daughter of George III and Queen Charlotte, died of tuberculosis at the age of 27. On her deathbed, she is said to have placed a ring containing a lock of her hair into her father's hand and whispered the words, "Remember me." Those words were later engraved in the design beneath an image of a crown. The grief-stricken George III is said to have never recovered from Amelia's passing, with many historians citing her death as a turning point in the decline of his mental health, an arc that would see him famously immortalized as the Mad King George. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.